The Ohio High School Athletic Association is a voluntary, nonprofit association of more than 830 public and private high schools and approximately 850 7th and 8th grade schools.
Member schools vote on rules and regulations pertaining to eligibility, scholarship, and many other issues.
Sometimes we have to make tough decisions to enforce the rules, but that's just part of all the things the OHSAA does to make sure Ohio school sports are fair, safe, and fun for everyone.
Hey, this is Sonny Johnson from the Garfield Hts Bulldogs. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
I'm Coach K, everybody calls me that, Mentor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Good evening, sports fans. OhioSportsNet is on the air from Mentor High School, Mentor, Ohio. Two of the top teams in the state, the Mentor Cardinals, 8-1, undefeated in the Northeast Ohio Conference in their inaugural year, taking on the Garfield Hts Bulldogs, a revenge game on the minds of the Cardinals, as last year Garfield Hts Bulldogs took out the Mentor Cardinals in the regional final. Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Goodwin, joined by Demetrius Hudson, double dipping tonight, a la color man and cameraman. There's nothing you can't do, Demetrius, and what a colossal tilt we got here in early January.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Garfield to pull this one out. You know, saying that Tony Farmer, he's a tough man. Tony Farmer, he's a beast out there, averaging 19 points a game and 13 rebounds. He's going to be tough to handle down in the paint.
You got to go the other side, though. Don't forget about Justin Fritz for the Mentor Cardinals.
Right, you have Justin Fritz and Danny Wallach. Those two, the 1-2 guard connection right there. I mean, they're going to be moving and shaking out there tonight.
Well, we talked about those two best players. Let's talk about them a little more in depth. Justin Fritz, 6'1" senior guard. He's basically played for 4 years for the Mentor Cardinals for Coach K. 28.5 points a game he averages. Headed to Wheeling Jesuit on a full ride, Division II, and there's really not much that he cannot do.
No, obviously not, considering that he is a point master. And
I mean, when you average 28.5 points a game, you're obviously doing something right, aren't you, D?
Oh yeah, either you're a gunslinger or you're a distributor.
He's a little of both. That's the thing. That's the stigma with the Mentor Cardinals, is they're just chuckers. They just throw it up from three, but they're a lot more than that, and that's something that they take a little pride in that. They're not, no, we don't just throw a three. They play tough defense. They're going to drive the hole. They're going to do everything they can.
Yeah, I see, because, I mean, considering they do have some pretty accurate shooters, averaging 41% from the arc, that's not bad at all.
We go to the other side, Garfield Hts. They lost Division I co-player of the year in Trey Lewis. He's playing at Penn State right now. But then you want to throw in Tony Farmer. What a specimen. Just a junior for the Bulldogs.
And he has one more year to go. I mean, that's just time to improve for the young man right there.
Okay,
like I said, he's averaging 19 and 13. I mean, it's only going to get better.
Exactly. What I want to do is I want to hear from the Mentor Cardinals. I had a chance to talk with Coach K, Justin Fritz, Danny Wallach. So let's sit down. Let's play a little bit of that interview where I talked with them, talk about this big matchup and how the Cardinals season has gone so far.
Justin, how do you think the season's gone so far for the Cardinals?
I think it's gone good so far. We definitely had a couple rough spots, but that's what practice is for. That's what cleaning up. We clean up in practice, and then we get ready to play on Friday night.
What can people expect out of the Cardinals this year?
We're gonna play hard for 32 minutes. I think that's when people come to watch us play, they know we're gonna play hard. and you know, we might take a couple plays off. We try not to, but you know, we're going to play as hard as we can for as long as we can.
You touched on playing it hard. Take yourself out of the Mentor Cardinal uniform, pretend you're an opponent. How hard would it be to prepare to play against Mentor?
You know, it's tough because they're going against their reserves, and I don't think, nothing against, you know, their reserves, but I don't think they could go our speed, you know, for a long amount of time. You know, I mean, I'm sure teams prep for us, might know our plays, but you know, when it comes down to it, whoever plays harder is going to win the game.
How do you guys get your stamina and endurance so fast and so good?
We run a lot. It's kind of like a little bit of cross country or basketball in October, you know, before November starts. So before we practice, we run a lot.
And how much does the intensity of Coach K add to that?
A ton. I mean, he gets us motivated to play, and you know, we love it.
Do you feel like a leadership role has got on your shoulders now as a senior?
Oh, definitely. You know, I'm a senior this year. I started for 3 years, played my freshman year. Yeah, definitely. I definitely think of myself as a leader.
At the same time, you feel like there's a target on you. Everybody's coming for you.
No, I think so too. But you know, Garfield beat us, so you know, I put the target on their back. But
what's going to be a key to victory against Garfield?
I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but you know, if we play hard, we should have a good chance of winning the game.
And how big of a game is this?
It's a big game. You know, it's good thing about high school basketball is you got 20 scrimmages until the playoffs. So, you know, it's definitely a good game, but we want to improve every week, so we're ready to play deep through March.
You touched on, you know, playing fast, playing hard, you know, the defense. You think that's a key defensively, shutting down maybe their guards so their bigs can't even get the ball?
Yeah, definitely. You know, they have a couple big boys in their team, and you know, every team does. And I think it has to do with our guards. If our guards don't let their guards get the ball in the paint, then their big guys are kind of out of the game.
The stigma with Mentor is you guys just are a three-point bomber team, and against Elyria you kind of proved that difference. So are you showing everybody, hey, you're multifaceted?
I 100% disagree with that statement. I think all of our offenses pretty much start from our defense in transition. You know, we rarely call sets. We rarely call sets. So I think all of our offense is dictated from the tempo of our defense.
Put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the Mentor-Garfield game.
Oh, I can't even do that. I don't even know. It's going to be a good game, though. I'll tell you that.
Danny, how's the season gone so far for the Cardinals?
I think we're off to a good start. We found some weaknesses. That's what practice for, like Justin said earlier. But I mean, we have to work on those things. We got 20 games, and then we have the playoffs. And if we could work on those things, I think we can make it deeper on the playoffs. But first, it all starts. We got to play hard. That's the most important thing.
So, what can people really expect out of Mentor this year?
We're gonna play hard. We're gonna get up in your face and play defense. I mean, that's what our key is. We got to get up in their face, play defense, and if we don't, we could have a bad half like we did against Elyria. We got to work hard.
And what turned around at halftime? Be a fly on the wall at halftime. What happened at halftime with Elyria when you came out and all of a sudden just guns blazing in the third quarter?
I mean, I think we started to play hard. Like I said, in the first half, we were lackadaisical a little bit. They out-rebounded us. They out-hustled us. We didn't get on the floor for loose balls. They wanted more than that, simple than that. And then we were losing in the second half. We go in the locker room. We're like, this can't happen. Like, we're better than this team. We know we are. We just had to play harder and work harder for it.
How scary is that you can just turn it on like a switch?
I mean, we shouldn't have to turn it on. We should come out of the gates, play hard from the gates. That's what we're disappointed in. We didn't come out ready for it.
How big is this game against Garfield Hts?
It's big. It's a step. Every game's big. You have to prepare. You have to get ready for the playoffs. I mean, Garfield, it's a league game. We want to win our league. That's a goal. I mean, it's a small goal, but our main goal is to win it all. But Garfield, that's a big game. We want to win. We want a redemption from last year.
How about a big front line, Division I recruits? Does that matter to you?
Oh, we go up against it all the time, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're athletic. I think we're athletic, one of the most athletic teams we had. So if we play D and we hustle, it shouldn't matter if they're going D1 or if we're going D3, D2, like we are here, man.
How nice is it to play with Justin and his skill set?
Oh, we've been together since we were 8. We've been playing baseball, basketball, everything. We're best friends, so we know a lot about each other, and I wouldn't want to play with anybody else.
How about just after Cole graduated, seems like the ball now is focusing around Justin and the offense kind of runs through him and you. Do you guys feel that way, the leadership of both of you?
I mean, I think we have to be leaders this team. We're seniors, so everybody looks up to us. Offensively, I mean, I think anybody can score. I mean, Justin, he's usually our leading scorer, but then we have other kids that could get 10 to 15 points a game, and that's what's good about our team. We have confidence in everybody, and anybody can score at any given moment.
The stigma with Mentor is they're in-your-face defense, press, bomb the threes. Do you agree with that, or do you guys think you're more than that?
I think we're versatile. I think we could get to the hole. I think, yeah, we can shoot a three, but that comes off our defense, our presses, how hard we're going to work on the defensive end. Because we get steals, we'll get easy layups. And we have to attack, and then if the three's open, we're going to take the better shot.
What's going to be a key to victory against Garfield Heights?
100%, 32 minutes. Nothing else. Like, you can't give up. You have to get on the floor, you have to board, we have to box out, and hustle.
Put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the game.
That's tough. I mean, of course we want to win, and that's our goal. If we play 100%, 110%, 32 minutes, we're going to win. That's how I think. That's how all of us think.
How do you think the season's gone so far for the Cardinals?
So far, so good. The one thing we were concerned about is getting football players late. Justin broken hand, not getting cleared until November 28th or 29th. So we're kind of scrambling to get people ready and in basketball shape. So 9 games in, I mean, I think we're a decent team. I think a huge amount of improvement areas, but so far, so good.
And how big is this game early on in the season against Garfield Heights?
I think it is, because it tells us where we're at with, I think, regional teams. I think they have a great shot to go to the regional. We lost last year in the regional finals to them. I think they have the talent. They have 3 D1 people. So if you want to compete and you want to, win a district, you want to win a regional, you got to be able to play against the better team. So I think it's a huge game for us to gauge and to measure, where we really are right now and what we have to do. And I love it being at home.
You say it's a gauge. Do you think there's a little revenge on your players' minds too?
I hope there's just a little, but I think we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at just performing, playing at 32 minutes. I think, we're still playing 3 sophomores, 3 juniors a lot, and they've made a lot of mental mistakes, and they're still learning the game. So, I think more so I'm looking. I think they have the revenge factor. I'm looking at just the young kids maturing at a fast pace.
How about after your son graduated, Cole had a great career, now Justin picks up as one of the leaders on the team along with Danny, you think so?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going in, I thought he'd be one of the better players in the state. Does a lot of things well. Mentality is a tough young man. So in a game like Garfield and in some of the big games, you want your best player to be able to take over and win games for you.
You think he's going to have a target on his back too? Everybody gunning for him?
I hope so. Because that's what good players do. They attract attention. The main focus might be on stopping him. And, if he's going to do well in college and be that player for us, he better have that target.
Coach, the stigma with Mentor is in-your-face defense, but offensively it's kind of like a 3-point shooting team. Against Elyria, you guys prove different. You're multifaceted. You almost want to just prove people wrong every game?
No, we talked a lot about media attention and what the stigma, what people think we do, and it's mostly the 3. And this has happened before where the pressure has been, man-on-man tight, no sag off. So the lanes are wide open, it's one-on-one. And we work a lot in practice about getting the ball to the hole. So I thought the Elyria, especially the second half, getting the ball to the hole was one of the better times, we did that. And we'll have to do that against teams that absolutely take away the 3-point shot.
What's going to be a key to victory against Garfield?
They have the bigs, and they're going to push us under the bucket because they're big and strong. I think we got to hold our own on the boards. As usual, I think we have a transition game, and I think we're much better at getting shots in transition than in a half court. Last year, the regional final, we only scored 68. We scored 66 against Christ schools, and that's 2 of our losses in about the last 15, 18 games. So, we're always leery of controlling tempo, but Garfield, it's going to be a game of who controls, I think, the boards and the tempo.
Coach, I got to ask you, the cup of water. I see you with it all times. Is it kind of like Jerry Tarkanian with his towel kind of thing?
When I first started coaching, I had chalk, and I would wing the chalk, and then I had a tie clip, I'd hold it for a while and wing that. So water's been the safe way out. So it's habit more than anything. It's a comfort thing, and I just feel better with it.
I'll put you on the spot, Coach. Give me a prediction for the Garfield game.
Well, that's a tough one. Most people, if I was telling them, if I had a question off camera, I'd say we'd probably lose by 7 to 10. I love my players. Mentor by 5.
We are moments away from tip. Let's meet the lineups for both teams. First, the starters and reserves for the Garfield Hts Bulldogs.
I'm Mike Davis, senior guard from Garfield High School.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights.
What's up? This is Kenny Simpson, senior guard from Garfield Heights.
Jermaine Davis, Garfield Heights. I'm a senior, and I play center.
Tony Farmer, junior forward.
I'm Marquise Jackson. I'm a senior guard from Garfield Heights. Kyle Sturgis, freshman guard from Garfield Heights.
Richard Parker, junior guard at Garfield Heights High School. Brett Thomas from Garfield Heights High School, senior guard.
I am David Wright. I play for Garfield Heights. I am 11th grader. I'm a power forward.
I'm Brian Cox, sophomore guard, Garfield Heights.
Monzo Bird, sophomore guard at Garfield Heights.
I'm Jeremiah Campbell from Garfield Heights. I'm a sophomore forward.
I'm Tyler McConaughey, junior center from Garfield Heights.
Dave Bell, sophomore center from Garfield Heights.
Michael Brown, junior, small forward from Garfield Heights.
We've seen the starters and reserves for the Garfield Hts Bulldogs, and now the Mentor Cardinals. They like to do a little bit of spectacularism here, Demetrius, and doing their starting lineups as well, the Cardinals. You gotta love it when they get into it like this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what a way to bring out the starting lineup in front of the home crowd, the Mentor Cardinal faithful.
Packed house here at Mentor. Let's meet the Mentor starters and reserves.
I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals.
I'm Justin Fritz. I'm a senior, and I'm a guard at Mentor High School.
I'm Connor Kratancic. I'm a sophomore guard from Mentor High School.
Mitch Trubisky. I'm a junior guard from Mentor Cardinals.
I'm Brandon Fritz, sophomore center for Mentor High School.
I'm Brody Nelson, and I'm a junior guard for Mentor Basketball.
Brandon Pick, senior guard for Mentor High School.
Kyle Morris, senior forward, Mentor High School.
Mike Gallagher, junior forward, Mentor Basketball.
Jake Leonard, senior forward, Mentor Basketball.
Kent Berger, sophomore center, Mentor Basketball.
Caleb Potter, sophomore forward, Mentor Basketball.
Cade McClure, sophomore guard, Mentor High.
Moments away from tip here from Mentor, a packed house. One of the top teams in the state of Ohio in the Mentor Cardinals. 8-1, 3-0 in the Northeast Ohio Conference, tied with the 8-1, 3-0 in the Northeast Ohio Conference, Garfield Hts Bulldogs. And a colossal tilt, Demetrius, here to kick off 2012 here on Friday the 13th.
Yes, that is quite interesting that you said that, Friday the 13th. But there is no superstition here. It's all about basketball, and it's about to go on right here on the hard court. It's showtime.
Exactly. The head coach is Sonny Johnson for the Garfield Hts Bulldogs, and Coach Kratancic for the Mentor Cardinals. Mentor in their white unis, moving from left to right with red numerals and trim. Garfield in their blue with gold numerals and trim. The jump by Brandon Fritz and Tony Farmer comes into the hands of Brandon Fritz, and right away Danny Walk going to look to push. Pulls for a wide open three off the rim. No, Brandon Fritz, offensive rebound, back up and in. Two quick ones for the Cardinals. And Garfield going to look to beat the press, and they do right away, and Simpson lines up a left wing three and buries it. I don't think we're going to, if there was a shot clock in this game, he could take a break if they had shot clocks in high school, don't you think?
No need for it. This is going to be a shootout tonight. You got a nice block there.
Jermaine Davis showing his size as he blocked Trubisky on the way to the hoop, and Trubisky now reaches in, and a foul against Mike Davis. And something that Coach Sonny Johnson did in practice this week, Demetrius, interesting to practice for the trap and the press. He would go 5 versus 8.
That's a good practice against that trap, that press rather.
Trubisky, the quarterback, the all-world quarterback, the junior for the Mentor Cardinals, his first foul first on the Cardinals. As Terrell Bird, senior guard, brings it up, along with Kenny Simpson in the backcourt and Mike Davis. Tony Farmer, the junior all-world player, gives it off to Davis, takes a baseline, has it knocked away, and Fritz comes away with a loose ball and a turnover. Wallach gives it off to Connor Kratancic, and tough defense. Bird with a steal, and he gets the timeout before he falls out of bounds. Great hustle, and that's something we are going to see all day long. Defense, I think, is really going to be the key for both teams in this game.
Yeah, defense and smart plays.
Terrell Bird on the year, 8 points, 5 assists, but he averages 4 steals, and he got his first one there.
Oh yeah, well he's going to have. That's one below 3 to go. He's going to definitely get his average tonight. It's going to be hard basketball out here.
So a quick timeout. The Garfield Hts Bulldogs, you could almost kind of say they really haven't had a chance to weather a storm yet. They've dictated the tempo. Last year in the regional finals, Garfield Heights came away with the victory over Mentor on their way to the state semis. And Mentor, Coach K, you heard from him in the pregame. He hopes his boys are thinking about that a little bit, but not too much.
Nah, it's something to keep, keep in the back of your mind, to keep you focused.
And a great look by Simpson finds Jermaine Davis for a deuce.
And that's going to be Garfield's strength tonight, points in the paint.
Justin Fritz, his first long-range bomb, and a friendly bounce gets the 3. Fritz averaging 28.5 points a game, and boy, he's going to average a lot more if he gets friendly bounces like that off the rim. Another good look finds Davis again, has it stripped away by Wallach. Out of bounds off of Garfield, turnover to the Cardinals. We're going to hear from Garfield at halftime, and Mike Davis says this is a grudge match. Bragging rights are on the line this game. A fire to 3. Mentor now takes an 8-5 lead, and great pressure by Trubisky after that 3 was buried from the wing. And it is 8-5, and the Cardinals, that's what they like to do, shoot the 3, but they want to shoot the 3 and open up the lanes for penetration.
Right. That's going to be the difference maker right there. It's like you got the beast in the paint with Garfield, and you got the shooters with the rainbow touch with Mentor.
So Trubisky with a 3, Fritz with a 3. Good job by Garfield to beat the press. Get into the front court. That last foul.
Farmer takes it in strong.
Yeah, good look, but nothing doing. As Connor Krasancic was called for that last foul for Mentor, and a reach in here by Terrell Bird. A little too aggressive there, Danny Wallach. Showing good strength on the ball and not let Bird steal that away. And first substitution of the game, Brett Thomas, 6'2" senior, going to check in. He's somebody I saw in practice. He was shadowing Justin Fritz at all costs. But he's actually going to foul Trubisky on this one, as Kenny Simpson is all over Justin Fritz. And he's got blanket coverage on Fritz with a nice spin. Out of tough off-balance shot off the backboard, and it comes to Brandon Fritz, but he lost his footing as he kind of tripped over Justin, and over the end line turnover back to Garfield.
That's good defense.
Full court pressure again by the Cardinals. Comes into Farmer. Trubisky got his hands on it, but the strength of Farmer pulls it away. Up to Mike Davis, and an odd man rush. Lob for Davis. He couldn't quite grab it, but he follows it up and in.
And that's the way they're going to have to beat the press, by passing the ball.
It was a great look on the play by Thomas, the lob. Shot by Krasancic on the far side. Ball volleyballed around and finally pulled down by the Bulldogs. Simpson looking to push, gets it up to Davis. Strong to the hole, lays it off to Farmer. And he'll kick it back up top to Simpson. 8-7, Mentor with the early lead. Out of the half court, Terrell Bird trying to look for some dribble penetration, and good defense by Danny Wallach forced him into the corner. Farmer, an off-balance shot, off the rim, no, and good rebound by Brandon Fritz for the Cardinals. Justin Fritz taking it strong to the hole, stripped away by Simpson. Strong defense is going to stay with Mentor on the baseline.
Yeah, that's going to be the kid. They're going to try to keep Fritz from getting those easy layup shots. I mean, as far as the three-pointers, that's going to be, they're going to have to man up on them face-to-face.
Marquise Jackson, senior for the Bulldogs, checks in, and Caleb Potter, a sophomore, and Kyle Morris, a senior, check in for the Cardinals. 4.5 to go, first quarter, 1-point lead. Ball poked away and stolen. Right into the game is Jackson. He gets a steal up ahead to Simpson, who lays it up and in. Kenny Simpson with 5 points here in the first quarter, and now a 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. Danny Wallach finds a little seam. Knifes to the basket. The ball goes off of Garfield, out of bounds. Going to stay with Mentor. David Wright, a 6'2 junior, will check in for Garfield. Kenny Simpson has a seat. Leading scorer so far in the game. Both teams kind of a little feeling out process so far, Demetrius. Strong move by Justin Fritz. Ran into the defender, couldn't get it up on the rim. Farmer back the other way. Flips it into the corner, and Bird will pull it back out. Jackson, 3-ball right side off the rim. No, Justin Fritz, he's got an on-man rush. He's up ahead of everybody. All the way in for an easy layup.
Coast to coast. by Fritz. With the
Got a whistle, and yeah, ball goes out of bounds, and Michael Gallagher, 6'3" junior, will check in for the Cardinals. Brandon Fritz has a seat. Mike Davis is going to check back in for the Bulldogs. End-to-end action. Really, the half court is not something we might see a lot of this game. 94 feet.
That's right. That's pure athleticism.
Davis beats the trap, and he actually gets fouled on the play. Mentor now with their third foul.
And Mentor's going to bring the trap and the press all night tonight.
Michael Gallagher with his first. Trap comes again in the backcourt. Bulldogs beat it. Davis. Mike Davis averaging nearly 17.5 points a game. Gets it into the middle, and a bucket by David Wright. And Justin Fritz wastes no time and answers right back.
He's hard to keep up with.
7 points already for Justin Fritz, and back to a 1-point Mentor lead. Wright finds Farmer. Knocked away, Farmer recovers. Boy, when you got a 6'7" guy running almost a point with the way Farmer does, that's almost unfair.
You see he called up his teammates.
He wants to play the point. Gives it off to Davis, his shot, no, Wright battling for the rebound. Good hustle by Wright, and even better hustle by the Cardinals. It's going to go out of bounds. Michael Gallagher couldn't haul it in for Mentor. It's going to stay with Garfield. It's Trubisky along with Krasancic and Brandon Fritz all check back in for Mentor. Farmer to inbound. To Davis, right back to Farmer. Strong spin move is reversed. Blocked by Brandon Fritz. Farmer with good hustle knocks it off of Fritz's ankle. Going to stay with Garfield, but 6'7" going against 6'4", and the sophomore Brandon Fritz says, you will not have any of it and like it.
He has to protect this house.
Definitely did.
Height doesn't matter. It's all about heart.
Brandon Fritz averages 7.5 rebounds and 4.5 rebounds, 7.5 points. Tony Farmer, a strong move, and that's why he's a D1 recruit, lays it up and in.
That's right. That's how you take it in the paint.
His first hoop, back to a 1-point Garfield lead. Danny Wallach, a nice crossover. Nobody picks him up. Ball falls off the rim. Brandon Fritz, offensive rebound, and he gets whacked. And Brandon Fritz showing it on the glass on both sides.
Fritz is all over the place. He's scoring, rebounding, and blocking.
So first free throws of the game will go to Brandon Fritz as Tony Farmer gets that foul. His first, second on Garfield.
What more can you ask for him? And one of your top players on the team.
Front iron's the first free throw. Kenny Simpson will check back in for Garfield. Caleb Potter back in for the Cardinals. That's one thing you're going to see Coach K, especially with the frenetic pace that he does. He goes 5, maybe 6 deep sometimes, and he rotates bodies in nonstop.
That's good.
Keeps everybody fresh. Fritz splits the deuce, and Kyle Morris coming back in for the Cardinals.
That's key. As long as you have fresh legs, you stand a good chance of staying competitive throughout the game, throughout all 4 quarters of basketball.
2:28 to go, first quarter. All tied at 13 now. Inbound comes into Simpson. He gets trapped in the corner. Does a good job to get out of it. And Wright gets it back up to Simpson, quickly up ahead to Davis.
And the Bulldogs are doing a good job by beating that trap. Good steal by Mentor.
Good steal by Justin Fritz. Got in the passing lane. He'll bring it up one-on-one with Mike Davis. Picks up his dribble, though. Swing it all the way around. Krasancic gets it over to Morris. Morris back to Fritz in the corner. Fritz, turnaround, pull up 3 off the iron, no. Backside rebound by Krasancic. Potter a 3. Back iron, no. Potter chases it down, but then stolen away by Simpson, and he's off to the races. Simpson will just lay it up and in for an easy deuce.
Easy lay-in.
7 points now for Kenny Simpson, and back to a 2-point Garfield lead with a minute and a half to go. Trubisky, nice little stutter move, and he gets whacked by Davis. And Miss Trubisky will go to the line after he took a hard foul by Mike Davis.
Nice strong lead by the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. He definitely has the arm and he has the strength. Have you ever seen him on Friday nights?
Oh, yeah.
In the fall?
Definitely.
Coach Trevisano.
And he can take a shot.
Oh, yeah. Coach Trevisano is loving when he sees that number 10 in a Mentor Cardinal uniform on a Friday night. Got one more year for him. As Trubisky hits the first. Wallach and Brandon Fritz back into the game. Minute and a half to go. Trubisky averaging 8.5 points on the year. Splits the pair. Brandon Fritz battles for the rebound. It's going to go off of him. Stay with the Bulldogs and a 1-point lead for Garfield. And again, the full court pressure. Bird back in as well. Has his ball knocked away. Brandon Fritz, good effort. Could not save it though, but so far, all the hustle plays going to the sophomore Brandon Fritz.
Definitely.
Showing great athleticism. Ball comes in. Connor Krasancic gets his hands on it, but Bird recovers and gets it up ahead to right. And the Bulldogs beat that press. It's almost like a little win the mini battle to get across midcourt.
Right. All it takes is the pass, and the Bulldogs are doing a pretty good job at beating that press.
So without either big man on the floor right now, Davis or Farmer, almost a smaller lineup for Sonny Johnson. A nice spin move, right with an offensive rebound. Can't finish though, as the first shot by Davis couldn't go in. And Trubisky will look to push for the Cardinals.
With the smaller lineup, you have speed versus speed.
And the speed out here is almost going to see some speeding tickets how fast these guys go. There are some cops here too. Justin Fritz, strong with the left hand, lays it up and in.
Nice move by Justin Fritz.
9 points to lead all scorers, and Trubisky a little too aggressive. There's the football player in him.
Exactly.
That's his second foul though, with 33 seconds to go first quarter.
You would probably have to figure that he's probably one of the stronger players on the team out there right now.
So Trubisky will have a seat. Fourth foul on the Cardinals. Inbound comes into Simpson. Dangerous pass. That almost looked like it hit the backboard. Just missed, but Krasancic got his hand on it. It's going to stay with the Bulldogs with 30 seconds to go first quarter.
And the Cardinals are getting under the Bulldogs' skin with this full court press and their traps.
But Bird with his speed gets away. He's got Simpson up ahead. Simpson pull up, left side, foot on the line, off the rim, no. Rebound, Caleb Potter. 20 seconds ago, will Mentor hold for a final shot? Instead, Krasancic left wing three, off the iron, no. Potter, oh wow! Took a hard spill, but he pops right back up. He took one for the team there. He got the offensive rebound and drew the foul. Foul gonna go against Brett Thomas.
I imagine he'll be feeling that after the game.
Boy, he's a tough kid, Caleb Potter, 6'3" sophomore. He popped right up like he hit a trampoline. 10 seconds to go now. Into the corner, Fritz. Three ball, off the iron, no. Right with a backside rebound. Final 4 seconds. Can Bird get a shot off? He does in time. Off the iron, no. And at the end of the first quarter, it is a 1-point lead for the Mentor Cardinals, 16-15. Back for second quarter action on OhioSportsNet after this.
Hi, I'm Justin Fritz. I play for Mentor Basketball, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
This is Tony Farmer from Garfield Hts Boys Basketball. You're watching the OhioSportsNet.
I hit people, and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brecksville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
I'm Mike Davis, senior guard from Garfield High School. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
After one quarter of play, the Mentor Cardinals with a 16-15 lead. And Demetrius, you could almost say it was like a little feeling out process. Both teams, it's a case of Garfield, they got into a little bit of the run, beating the press. But right. Mentor, the 1-point lead after one.
Yeah, you see Garfield was, they pretty much handled that press pretty well, so that add-on 5 in practice did him some good justice.
Justin Fritz with 9 points, lead the Cardinals in the first quarter. Kenny Simpson with 7 for the Bulldogs. And it'll be Farmer, Davis, Bird, Jermaine Davis, and Kenny Simpson, the starting 5, back on the floor for the Bulldogs. A nice strip and a steal by Kyle Morris out of the hands of Farmer. And he'll pull it in the front court along with Wallach, Justin Fritz, Potter, and Krasancic on the floor for the Cardinals. Wallach gets into the paint. Up and under move. Danny Wallach, a strong play. The point guard said, why not? I'm in trouble. Let's just throw it at the rim and put it in.
That's the job of the floor general.
Wallach averages 13.5 a game. That's his first deuce. Little inside-out game now being worked by the Bulldogs. Now down to Farmer. Strong defense by Morris. Skip, right side, Bird, short on the 3. Saved by Simpson. Still loose. Davis tries to save it. Comes to Krasancic. Up ahead to Wallach. Numbers for the Cardinals. Wallach, little stutter step, shake and bake, blocked away by Jermaine Davis. That's just a matter of physics there. 5'11" against 6'9".
Right. I mean, what more can you ask for? He had to knock that out. He had to get that out of there. Get it out of here.
It was almost a case that might have hit him in the face. Danny Wallach, a good effort to get to the hole, just a little off balance. He will trigger the inbound on the baseline with a 3-point Mentor lead, and his pass going to go all into the backcourt. Trubisky will run it down. Opening minute, second quarter, 3-point lead for the Cardinals. Trubisky, nice little jitterbug move, got him to the hole, just couldn't finish, and Farmer pulls away the rebound and looking to break, and look at the speed of Tony Farmer. Taking it strong, tough shot, follows his own shot back up and in. $19 points and 13 boards does Tony Farmer average, and just got a deuce there. That was almost like a pass to himself.
Yeah, and he got a rebound on top of that.
And a long deep bomb by Justin Fritz answers right back.
Justin Fritz with the rainbow arc. Lovely touch.
Up to 12 now in the game. A pair of threes for Justin Fritz, and the biggest lead for Mentor at 21-17. Davis beats the press up to Jermaine Davis. Swing it over to Kenny Simpson. And the Bulldogs will reset their offense in the half court.
Bird sets up.
Brandon Fritz, that was a nice switch. He poked it away, now Mike Davis. Bounces down, a low pass for Farmer, loose on the floor. Farmer and Trubisky going at it, and that's a lot of muscle right there. Those are two of the biggest, most cut kids on the floor, Tony Farmer and Mitch Trubisky, in a held ball. It's kind of hard, though, when you a bounce pass to a 6'7" guy to his ankles. I don't care how athletic he is. That's a tough play for Tony Farmer to get.
Yeah, anytime you got to bend down, those bounce passes need to be have a little more bounce to it so it can get it right around the abdomen area, the midsection.
David Wright and Marquise Jackson check back in for the Bulldogs. As Michael Gallagher back in for the Cardinals. Wallach up top, Trubisky. He'll pull straightaway 3 off the iron, no. Mike Davis can't haul in the rebound. It's going to stay with the Cardinals with 5.5 to go in the second.
Cardinals about to get his second chance at scoring on their end.
One thing I got to say about both of these teams, I met both of them earlier in the week. These are some of the most polite, well-mannered kids I've ever met, both teams. Kudos goes out to the school systems, the families, and everybody associated with these young men. A great look, and Gallagher gets an easy one off the feet from Trubisky.
With the Matador defense, nobody was home to defend that.
Nice little backdoor cut by Gallagher, and Trubisky found him. That's the quarterback in him, finding the open receiver.
Hey, there you have it.
6-point lead now for Mentor. Oh, the crowd's getting on Mike Davis for an earlier shot. Gallagher showing some good hustle off the Cardinal bench, pulls away that rebound. Justin Fritz, it's almost like, what's his range? I think it's just called the gym.
He has no range.
And then he shows he can, that's what it is. He has no range, he can take it strong to the hole because you're too busy watching out for the 3.
That's a classic triple threat player right there.
14 points now for Justin Fritz to lead everybody, and Mentor starting to stretch that lead out. Mike Davis will pull up from 16 and nail it. Good way to answer back.
That was not the air ball right there.
4 points now for Mike Davis. Approaching the midway point, second quarter. Tight defense by Jackson, forces Wallach to get rid of it. Brandon Fritz. Double team comes, his pass gets deflected out of bounds. Garfield wanted it to go to them, but it's going to stay with the Cardinals. Wholesale substitutions. Bird along with Thomas back in. Krasancic, Potter, and Morris back in for the Cardinals. Packed house here from Mentor High School. This is the first of 2 meetings between these 2 teams. The second will be in late February at Garfield. Bragging rights on the line here, and strong move by Justin Fritz. He's showing the entire arsenal here. Ball deflected, loose. Potter dives on the floor and gets it for the Cardinals. And he's slow to get up. Krasancic, a left wing 3, no. Keeps it alive. Wallach bombs one, got it. And Caleb Potter is shaken up on the play. And ball knocked out. It's going to stay with the Cardinals. The referees are going to talk about it.
And we have a 30-19 lead for the Cardinals.
The 3 balls are just prevalent everywhere tonight.
And Mentor's scrappy defense and elusive offense.
A double-digit lead.
Seems to be getting the best of Garfield at the moment.
And a nice steal by Trubisky. Can't finish, though. He reaches in, and that's a tough play. He's a little frustrated with himself there, and he just picked up his 3rd foul.
Yeah, he tried to be a little pretty with that layup there.
Back up a few plays. A tough play for Caleb Potter. He made a great individual effort to get the ball. He looked like he fell kind of hard on his shoulder. He was a little shaken up, and he's walking it off now with the training staff on the bench. 3:33 to go in the half. Trubisky will check out as Gallagher will come back in for Coach Krasancic. Coach K, as they like to call him. Off the inbound, loose. Morris dives for it, but Bird comes away. Davis up ahead, bams it down with a right hand.
Hammered down.
What an explosion to the basket by Mike Davis. 6 points now for Davis, back to a 9-point Mentor lead.
That should give the Bulldogs a little momentum to tighten up on the defense.
Wallach gets tied up on the baseline. Get his dribble back as Bird got his hand on it. Nice crossover by Wallach. He'll pull up from the mid-range jumper and nail it. Danny Wallach, all 7 of his points here in the second quarter. Bird cross-court pass. Mike Davis, left wing 3, in and out, no good. What a high rebound. Tony Farmer went up to the ceiling for it. Just couldn't control it out of bounds on the baseline. Gonna go back to the Cardinals.
It looked like he put his arm in the rim to get that one.
Wow. That's all you can say about Tony Farmer and his athleticism.
And his reach.
The sky is the limit with that young man when it comes to athleticism. 11-point lead for the Cardinals. Inside 3 minutes to go, first half. Wallach beats everybody. His shot blocked away by Mike Davis, and Gallagher will call it back in for the Cardinals. Justin Fritz, little screen roll. Got Farmer on him. Nice zip pass, finds Krasancic, and he's gonna, is this an and one or an offensive foul? This might be an offensive foul.
Charging foul.
Yep, Connor Krasancic kind of lowered his shoulder into the defender. And an offensive foul and a turnover. That's a second on Krasancic. And 6th now on the Cardinals.
What a way to take the charge.
And this is a tough play because now Garfield is in the bonus. A foul on the inbound with 2:29 to go in the half.
That might be a way for them to get back into the game, or Mentor is going to have to hold back on their tenacity on defense.
Well, even more important, now that's the second player for Mentor with 3 fouls as Krasancic now joins Trubisky with 3 fouls for Mentor. Kyle Morris will check back in. Krasancic going to have a seat. So really 7 team fouls on the Cardinals, and almost all of them between 2 players.
I mean, you can tell that's why they're, they have to do something to stick with Garfield because, like I said, Garfield are beasts in the paint. So they're going to do whatever they can, distribute foul, take the foul, whatever they can do to hang in with these Bulldogs. And right now they have the lead.
And you can say the hustle is really gone to Mentor tonight. They're doing everything, diving on the floor everywhere. As Marquise Jackson knocks down both free throws. Brings it back to a 9-point deficit. Good to see Caleb Potter back into the game for the Cardinals. Maybe just took a hard fall, a little shaken up, but right back in. 2:29 to go in the half.
He's an athlete. He said tonight is the night.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to tackle somebody to get him out of this game tonight.
Exactly.
Potter did a good job to beat the trap. Wallach's pass tipped away, and Davis is back behind everybody. Blast off! Flush with 2 hands. That's one thing Garfield likes to do, get ahead of everybody. Nice move by Morris, takes it strong to the baseline, up, in, and one. And Tony Farmer can't believe it, neither can Coach Johnson. Wow, what a strong move by Kyle Morris to go baseline on Tony Farmer.
And Farmer is kind of shocked about that call there.
Up, in, and under by the 6'6" senior.
Hey, Mentor showing that they have some inside presence as well.
I think that move almost caught Farmer off guard.
It did. The under and over, behind the back.
Morris finishes off the 3-point play, averaging 2.5 per game on the year, and he just beat his average right there with a 3-point play, and he'll have a seat with 1:58 to go. Makes it back to a 10-point Mentor lead. David Wright back in for the Bulldogs, along with Simpson. Simpson gets trapped in the corner, and he's gonna have to call a timeout. With 1:54 to go. We're gonna step aside. We'll be back to Mentor. Final 2 minutes after this.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is committed to developing well-rounded student athletes.
To support our continued education, the OHSAA and its foundation award more than 50 scholarships annually, totaling over $50,000 to graduating student athletes.
In addition, the OHSAA Foundation hosts leadership conferences around the state, where student athletes participate in sessions on group dynamics, role modeling, positive sporting conduct, and much more.
So don't sit on the sidelines. Get involved.
I hit people and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brexville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
Mitch Trubisky, I'm a junior guard for the Mentor Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet. I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Hts, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Back for the final 1:58. Mike Davis beats the press for the Bulldogs, a 10-point lead for Mentor. And you got to wonder what Coach Johnson said in that little timeout there. See if he can get some momentum and cut into this lead for the half. Left wing 3, and that's a good way to do it by Marquise Jackson. Jackson with 5 points all here in the second. Little pressure by the Bulldogs, and Mentor beats it. Fritz kind of fumbles. Finds Brandon Fritz down on the block. Hands back off to Justin. Strong move by Justin Fritz. Got it up on the rim, couldn't finish though. Simpson up ahead. Jackson, foot on the line. Fires from the right side, no. Good hustle by Wright, keeps it alive. Jackson finds Mike Davis up and in. What hustle by Marquise Jackson and David Wright.
Hustle gives you second chance points.
Davis, 8 points in the corner, 10 in the game, and now it's back to a 5-point deficit. Garfield with the pressure and a near steal. Final minute. Brandon Fritz takes a strong to the hole. David Wright gets his hands on it, ties him up. The Coach Johnson and the Bulldogs are fired up. 48.7 to go. They're going to get it back on the alternate possession. What a game of runs we had. We saw Mentor go up by as much as 13. And now right back to 5 for Garfield Heights. Brandon Fritz with a near steal. He does keep it alive. Comes to Justin Fritz, lays it up and in. Brandon Fritz again with the hustle plays.
The Fritz boys out there working in tandem tonight.
9 points in each quarter for Justin Fritz. 18 in the game to lead all scorers. Final 30 seconds, first half.
So Fritz is 10 below his average already in the first half.
Not bad. Looks like Garfield's going to hold for a final shot. They are in the penalty. So any foul will send the Bulldogs to the line. And the Bulldogs do have a couple fouls to give if they lose the ball. Final 7 seconds. Davis, little shake and bake. Pull up from 17. Back iron, no. Good rebound by Gallagher and a quick timeout by Coach Krasancic 2.6 seconds ago. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
And Garfield having the ball with Mentor in the opposition, being in the penalty for the, in the penalty, you would think they just went ahead and forced it in, forced to draw the foul.
I'm Brandon Fritz, sophomore center for Mentor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
So after the timeout, 2.6 seconds to go. If you're Coach Krasancic, what did you think you drew up here?
They're going for the shot.
Going for a long baseball pass into the front court, or we're going to fire up a half court?
He's going to shoot it right now.
Yep, looks like it might be a three-quarter court version. It's got plenty of length, a little bit too much by Kyle Morris. And we are at halftime from Mentor High School. The 8-1 Cardinals 37, the 8-1 Bulldogs 30. We saw both teams in up and down action. Mentor drew out to a double-digit lead, but great fortitude by the Bulldogs to come back and cut it to 7 for the half.
Oh, definitely so. And I mean, the thing of it is, Mentor has, seemed to have a way to keep the Bulldogs at bay for the time being. My only problem with the last few plays of the second half, though, was considering that Mentor was already in the penalty. I would have had the Bulldogs going in and going in the paint and draw the foul.
Yeah, they didn't take advantage of being in the bonus in the final 2 minutes.
Not at all. That's why they call it the bonus.
Exactly. So maybe that's something that Coach Johnson wants to talk about at halftime. Trailing 37-30 does Garfield. We are at halftime here from Mentor. We heard from the Mentor team in the pregame. I want to hear from Coach Johnson, Mike Davis, and Tony Farmer from the Garfield team. And we're going to do that. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, we're going to hear from the Garfield Hts Bulldogs here at halftime. 37-30, Mentor leads it.
Mike, how do you think your season's gone so far?
I think we're going pretty good right now. Yeah, we're just figuring out like how the team is working together, how to move the ball and everything like that.
After the preseason rankings and that tough first loss to Chanel, what do you guys learn so far in the first month?
Not to take anybody lightly, man. To play hard every game and don't take no game light. Take no team. I take every game serious like it should last.
What can people expect out of the Bulldogs this year?
Tough defense. Tough, really tough defense. Like our defense create our offense. Our defense, we get in transition, easy baskets. So that's what you can expect from us.
After losing Mike and Trey last year, some Division I recruits, how have you boys rebounded and kept the winning tradition going?
Man, the coaches. It's the coaches, man. They got the winning attitude. Just like doing hard everything. Our seniors, especially me, I'm trying to become a winner. Like just get a bit down there.
How about playing with a player like Tony? Have you ever played with more of an athletic specimen than him?
Man, he's a freaking man-child. He's a beast, man. That's pretty much all I like to say, man. He's great, though. He's great.
Game against Mentor this week. How big of a game is this?
Man, this is great. This is a bragging rights, really. That's how I'm feeling about this bragging rights. This bragging rights game. Yeah, I think they number one. It might be number. We gotta go get this win.
What's gonna be key to victory?
Defense. Defend the three. Box out really hard and don't panic under the trap. That's what I'm saying.
Is there anything about them that scares you?
I'm really not worried. I'm not worried about pretty much them. I'm worried about us and how we're going to play more than how their style of playing. You know what I mean?
Put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the game.
We're going to win. That's all I can say.
Tony, how do you think your season's gone so far?
Our season going good except for that one loss against Chanel. But other than that, we regrouped and we're on the right path again.
What do you think you learned from that loss?
Stay together and just fight through it.
You feel like a leadership role has been put on your shoulders now that you're becoming an older player?
I feel like I got to step up to the plate, yeah.
What is it you need to do to help some of the other players?
Just talk to people more, get the team more involved and things like that.
What do you think is going to be a key to victory against Mentor?
Contain them from shooting so many threes or making so many threes.
What about Mentor scares you?
How well they can shoot the three and how deep.
What can people expect out of the Bulldogs this year?
Just a talented team that can get up and down and a team that's going to play defense real hard.
What's your overall goal that you'd like to accomplish this year?
This year, trying to win the state championship.
I want to put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the Mentor game.
Oh, we win. We win. No doubt.
How do you think the Bulldog season's gone so far?
We're doing pretty well. You know, we're 8-1 right now, and you know, guys are getting better. So we're doing all right.
How about recovering from losing a couple D1 recruits last year and picking right up where you left off and one of the top teams in the area?
Well, it's tough losing those guys because not only were they Division I players, they had experience as seniors and they had high basketball IQ, and that's more so important when you're losing players, when you're losing kids that really understand how to play the game. That's more important than just losing kids.
First loss came to Chanel. What do you think your boys learned from that?
Learn how to not underestimate anybody. You know, I think after we were up like 34 points against St. Vincent St. Mary's, and you know, I think, you know, after coming out strong against those guys, I think we got a little ahead of ourselves and underestimated Chanel a little bit. Even though they're a good team, you know, we learned from that. We learned from that to not underestimate anybody, for sure.
What can people expect out of the Bulldogs this year?
Hopefully another shot to get back down to Columbus. I think that's our goal, but we have to gel a little better before you know, that goal is reached.
How nice is it having some of the size that you have in Tony and Jermaine?
Well, it's nice if the size, if you got big kids that play big. We got Tony playing big, but we got to get the other bigs that we have to play pretty big. And if those guys play as big as we think they can play, then it's really nice to have them.
How about your perimeter play, too? You don't find much faster perimeter play than you do.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when we look at it, if they can defend, I think that's very important. Just not being quick is not good enough. If you can use your quickness, I think that's really important.
Game against Mentor. How big of a game is this early in the season?
It's big, but it's not. It's big because it's a conference game, and I think both of us are 3-0 in the conference. But it's great too because we get to play them again. So we want to win this game. This is our goal. You know, we're trying to go 4-0 in the conference, but we do get another shot at them later on down the road at our place.
What do you think is going to be key to victory against Mentor?
Just contesting shots, playing hard on defense, and not taking the possession off.
What about Mentor scares you?
The fact that they're playing at home. I think they're going to get some pretty nice. You know, it depends on how the referees call the game. That's what scares me because I think our guys will be ready to play.
How about their pace and just everything they like to do, press and threes and up and down the floor?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. They use a lot of bodies. Coach is a heck of a coach, and those guys are well coached. So a lot of things can scare you about them, but you know, you just got to do your part and prepare your guys.
Coach, I'll put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for the game.
Prediction: Garfield 85, Mentor 80.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Justin Fritz. I play for Mentor basketball, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
What's good? It's Brett Thomas from Garfield Hts High School, senior forward, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
We are at halftime here from Mentor High School. The Mentor Cardinals with a 37-30 lead. And one of the big reasons, Demetrius, 18 points from the big gun, Justin Fritz, 9 in each quarter, averaging 28.5 points a game, well on his way to beating that tonight.
He definitely is. I'm looking at him probably to hit closer to around about maybe 35 points a night. That's being reasonable.
That's something maybe Coach Johnson would like to see not happen, so you got to think maybe at halftime that's what he talked about. Take me in both locker rooms. What do you think Coach Johnson talked about?
Definitely about Fritz, and also taking advantage of Mentor's mistakes that they very well could have taken advantage of, but they didn't. Nonetheless, the score is, you know, it's only halftime. You got another half of basketball to play.
So let's go to the other side. Coach K for the Cardinals. What do you think he said at halftime?
Pretty much keep that intensity up, especially in the paint. Because their biggest challenge is with the two guys in the paint, with Davis and Farmer. And I mean, they only have what? How many points has Davis have tonight so far?
Jermaine Davis only has 2 points. Tony Farmer only has 4. So just 6 points for the big men for the Bulldogs.
They're doing a good job.
So we are moments away from second half action. 37-30, Mentor leads. Take a look at the crowd here tonight at Mentor. Packed house here from Mentor, and a lot of people seeing a great game here tonight. Northeast Ohio Conference rivals. The first year for the Cardinals being in the Northeast Ohio Conference, as they've dominated the Lake Erie League the last 2 years. How about Coach K? In his 18 years at Mentor, his record in the LEL, 125-66 in the LEL. And over 481 wins coming into this season with 77 tournament wins. So talk about a Hall of Fame coach is Coach K.
Oh yeah, he's representing. He's doing a great job coaching, getting, you know, that's what Coach K does. And it's not happened to be Coach K, right?
He is on his way to 500 wins. A win tonight would put him at 490, but Coach Johnson and the Bulldogs are going to try and do everything they can to make up this 7-point deficit at halftime, and they're going to let him hold on to 490 for another day if they could have something to say about it.
Well, one thing I have to say, for them to do that, they're going to have to go to their strengths, in essence, points in the paint. They're not really doing a good job with points in the paint. And Mentor, on the other hand, for them to keep their intensity up and win this game, they're going to have to keep doing what they've been doing. I mean, you know, that's, you know, you have 5 fouls in the game, so might as well take advantage of them if you have to.
And you touched on the fouls. Connor Krasancic and Mitch Trubisky, both with 3 fouls each for the Cardinals, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Really nobody in foul trouble for the Bulldogs. Leading scorers, let's go through them in the game. For Mentor, Justin Fritz with 18, 9 in each quarter. But after that, it's kind of spread out. Danny Wallach with 7, 4 for Mitch Trubisky, 3 for Brandon Fritz, 3 for Kyle Morris, and 2 for Michael Gallagher. On the other side for the Bulldogs, Mike Davis leads with 10. Kenny Simpson with 7, all in the first quarter. 4 for Tony Farmer, 5 for Marquise Jackson, and 2 for David Wright. And another thing we've seen, Demetrius, from both teams is the bench. Both coaches are not afraid to go deep into the bench.
No, I mean, that's the whole purpose. You have like 12 to 15 players on your team. You might as well use them all. Wisconsin only using like 7 or 8 players. That's the thing that kills me about a lot of coaches out there, is that they do not use all their players.
Especially at the pace that these teams like to play.
Because they're running, and I mean, you got to have fresh legs out there at all times. I mean, you keep the same guys out there running, they're going to get tired. That's when momentum changes or gets stagnated.
We heard in the pregame from Justin Fritz, he said, back in October, it's almost like a cross between cross country and basketball. That's how much running they do.
I mean, that's the way you have to be. That's the way it has to be. I mean, because that's a prime example tonight. These guys are running. There are no slouches out here. These are pure athletes. Nobody's huffing the pup and nobody's hanging on to their shorts like we used to see back in the days.
Yep. Last week, Mentor was on the road at Elyria. Elyria gave him a very tough first half, and according to Danny Wallach, Justin Fritz, the Cardinals really didn't play a very strong first half. And what did they do? They came out third quarter, and boy, did they turn up the press and the pressure, and it really wore on Elyria, and Mentor walked away with a double-digit win. We're going to have to see this third quarter if the pressure that they've been putting on Garfield the whole game, if it starts to wear on the Bulldogs early in this third quarter.
Because that pressure has been pretty compressed. I mean, if it wasn't for, you know, Garfield's, you know, quick passing attacks, you know, they would have been defeated on that. A couple of times, you know, they had a couple of, you know, close calls, but close calls are just that, close calls.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a prediction how this one's going to turn out.
Well, I'm going to stick with my pregame prediction. I'm going to stick with Garfield.
You say the Bulldogs are going to pull it out, trailing by 7 at the half.
I mean, that's my only thing. I mean, it's no good for me to flip-flop on that call, you know what I'm saying, Kyle? Because nonetheless, I mean, Mentor has a good chance of taking this lead and, you know, taking the W, giving the coach 490 wins for the season so far.
I have a feeling it's going to come right down to the final shot.
Final shot, ooh, okay.
Krasancic's pass down for Brandon Fritz. Good defense by Tony Farmer, knocks it away. So on the floor for the Bulldogs, Farmer, Mike Davis, along with Kenny Simpson, Terrell Bird, and Brett Thomas. Justin Fritz, Brandon Fritz, Danny Wallach, Connor Krasancic, and Mitch Trubisky, the starting 5 for the Cardinals, in their white home uniforms, and an offensive foul by Justin Fritz as Kenny Simpson went to the deck as Fritz tried to go strong to the hole. The referee lights him up with a charge.
Yeah, he's smiling about that because he threw that elbow out there. Right to the bread basket.
First foul on Fritz, first on the Cardinals here. Garfield moving from left to right in their navy unis with gold trim. 7-point deficit for the Bulldogs. See if they can't cut into it. They trailed by as many as 13 in the first half. Big second quarter. And a nice lob down low. Farmer with the size just lays it up and in. Nice look by Bird.
And as I stated, Garfield was going to their strength, points in the paint. As Farmer had an easy leg in right there.
Back down to 5. This is the closest the Bulldogs have been since the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Fritz with Farmer on him. Nice little stop and pop, and he nails a 3. And a steal by Brandon Fritz. Connor Krasancic lines up a quick 3. Front iron, no. Krasancic runs it down. His shot blocked by Bird, but a foul going to be called.
Good defensive stop for the foul.
What a just stop on a dime play by Justin Fritz, though. How do you guard him when he's that quick, but yet he can just stop and pull back and nail a dagger 3 like that?
All you can do is hope you can contain him.
Or you hope he hits a wet spot and maybe he just loses his balance. That's about all you can really hope for there. Krasancic hits the first.
Or maybe you look at maybe pick up the wrong target as he raises up for the shot or something.
Hoping and praying isn't a good defensive strategy, though.
No, not at all, not at all.
Krasancic splits the pair. That's his first point of the game. Back to a 9-point Mentor lead. Bird down to Farmer. A nice little up and under dipsy-do, and Tony Farmer with 4 quick points here, now 8 in the game.
Garfield's going to his strength with points in the paint. That's the way they're going to have to, that's going to keep him in the game right there.
Nice backdoor cut. Justin Fritz up, under, and in. And Coach Johnson just threw his hands in the air and said, what can we do? Now 23 points for Justin Fritz. Mike Davis up ahead. He takes it strong and lays it in. 12 for Davis. End-to-end action. This is almost like a pinball game, the way the ball just bounces back and forth from half court to half court. Wallach runs into Farmer and will pull it back out. Trubisky loses it through his legs and a turnover, Mentor. Gallagher along with Morris check back in for the Cardinals.
So far it seems both teams are sticking to their strengths.
Marquise Jackson, 5'11" senior, back off Coach Johnson's bench. 7-point deficit for the Bulldogs. They've just been kind of hanging around this area for the last few minutes. Can't get it under 5. But they've been using the athleticism of Tony Farmer, especially down in the paint, to get back into the game. Simpson will hold it up top. Jackson swing over to Mike Davis. Finds Farmer. He's going to line up a 3. A little too strong on that one. Went over everything.
Throws up a brick.
Yeah, that one was very strong. Justin Fritz. Strong move as he got the step on Mike Davis. Draws the contact. And I think they're going to say this is on the floor, though. Yep.
Not in the motion of shooting. Mentor out of bounds to take it out.
That's a second on Davis, second on the Bulldogs here in the second half. Fritz, baseline jumper, got it. Boy, he has such a smooth stroke.
He's making it, we had to call him the Rain Man.
25 now for Justin Fritz with 5 minutes to go in the third. Mike Davis up ahead, takes it strong, up and under. Wallach, good defense, forced a tough shot. He comes away with a rebound. Looking to push. Over in the corner, Justin Fritz. He'll lay it back to Wallach and they'll reset the offense.
He thought about it briefly there.
Connor Krasancic, nice little spin move, takes it into Farmer off the rim. No, back to Krasancic who lays it up and in. Persistence for the Cardinals. They got it back up to an 11-point lead. Jackson beats the press and gets it up to Simpson. Seems like Garfield just can't get that big run to get back into the game.
But they've been doing pretty good against the press nonetheless.
Been chipping away, but they just can't get enough stops. And Farmer strong again. No, and Justin Fritz skies for that rebound. He is everywhere. Nobody's picking him up, and he's going to pull up for an NBA 3. Front iron, no. Up ahead is Davis. Good job by Wallach to get back. And he draws the charge. Oh, wow. Mike Davis and Coach Johnson cannot believe it. What hustle by Danny Wallach.
That's taking one for the team right there. Now, Davis is in disbelief on there. He feels that the defender moved his feet. Apparently, the referee didn't see it that way.
Wow. Great. You got to give Danny Wallach all the hustle in the world, but I don't want to take anything away from his play, but I don't know how he drew a charge there. Looked like Mike Davis had a clear layup.
Like I just said, you know, the referee makes the final decision.
Those are always tough calls, though, those bang-bang charge block.
They are, definitely. I used to hate those.
Was that some home cooking? Either way, great hustle by Wallach to draw the third foul on Davis. Now Wallach controls. It's left of the lane, picks up his dribble. Looking for Krasancic, knocked away, and David Wright can't get it. Now Wallach, 3-ball off the iron, no. And Justin Fritz out of nowhere tips it in. Does he have a cape on? Is there an S on the back of that man's uniform?
If it is, it's invisible. He has that invisible juice thing going on tonight.
Wow, where did he come from?
Well, I can definitely tell you that he planned that bounce perfectly.
Backside rebound. Justin Fritz goes 6'1". He looks like he's about 8'1", the way he's all over, up and above the rim. Jackson, a right corner three, nails it. Nice feed by Bird.
When you don't have a body on you, you could be 5'11" and getting away with them rim shots like that.
9 points in every quarter by Justin Fritz. Now 27 in the game with 3:16 to go in the third. 10-point lead for the Cardinals and a nice steal by Jackson. Very deliberate Garfield is in the half court. It's almost like they're trying to slow down the tempo.
That's what they're going to have to do because Mentor is moving. Mentor is just too fast right now.
But Justin Fritz pokes it away. Great recovery, though, by Brett Thomas. And now numbers. Bird, right corner three. Got it. His first points of the game, and now back down to a 7-point deficit. Wallach finds a seam, finds Brandon Fritz, backside, lays it up. No, good defense by Thomas, and he pulls away the rebound. Brett Thomas looks like a linebacker out there with his size, his shoulder width, his arms. He's got some guns.
Yes, Garfield's definitely slowing the pace down.
They're using their muscle to get back into this game and the 3-ball as well.
That's going back to their strengths. Points in the paint.
And they're doing a little inside out, but another 3-ball. Bird off the iron, no. Brandon Fritz with a good box out.
Fritz with the ball.
Justin Fritz has it poked away by Bird, but good recovery by Brandon Fritz. But he stepped on the center line. Good defense by Wright along with Bird, forces the turnover.
That's the Bulldogs' pressure of the press. That's their version of the press.
Kyle Morris checks back in for the Cardinals. Tony Farmer back in for the Bulldogs.
With 2-on-1 left in the third quarter, Garfield's down 42-49 and threatening to score.
They just can't get past that 5-point deficit. It's kind of been the plateau of where they've been almost the whole quarter. Farmer will get it on the baseline. Backing down Morris, a strong move, just couldn't finish.
Great defense by Morris.
Brandon Fritz pulls away the rebound. But that was an NBA move by Tony Farmer. And a little shake and bake. Justin Fritz takes it right at Farmer, but he gets his own rebound. Ball knocked away by Simpson. It'll stay with the Cardinals. And Justin Fritz is not afraid to go at anybody. He takes it at the strong, tall, athletic Tony Farmer.
Now, I see that's why he scores so many points, because he's not scared. You can't be scared. Have no fear. You might catch an elbow, a knee, a slap.
Up and under move. Bird blocks it from behind. Loose ball. Wright going to chase it down.
Get blocked.
We got a foul on the floor. Who's this going to be against? This might go against Mentor. Yep, Brandon Fritz with good hustle, but a little too much, says the official. And that's his first foul.
Garfield ball.
1:28 to go in the third. Bulldogs going to try and cut into the 7-point deficit. Third foul on the Cardinals here in the second half. Both teams with 3 fouls.
That's one thing about the Cardinals. They're not afraid to foul. They're playing hardcore defense out here tonight.
Bird gives it to Jackson. Right corner three off the iron. No. Backside rebound. Brandon Fritz from Mentor. Wallach looking for someone to give to. Finally finds Brandon Fritz up top. He's going to take it strong. Spin move, kick it back out. Wallach straight away, 3, in and out. No, Farmer skies for the rebound, fires it off of Morris. And again, Tony Farmer showing his athleticism to get to that ball and throw it off the defender to keep it with the Bulldogs.
Smart move.
52.1 second to go, third quarter. Full court pressure being picked up. Bulldogs with its near turnover. Morris gets his hands on it, gets a steal. Great hustle by Kyle Morris. Ripped it right away from Tony Farmer. But then Wallach has it poked away. Simpson gets cut down by Justin Fritz. Bodies flying everywhere. Let the bodies hit the floor here at Mentor. Fritz can't believe it. He thought he had all ball, and so does the home faithful. Oh, Coach K is very, very adamant.
Coach K better be careful before you get hit with a technical.
And it was a very, very tough call. It was a good hustle play by Justin Fritz, as bodies were just everywhere. Kyle Morris first started it. He stole the ball from Farmer, out-muscled him. The foul goes against Fritz.
Sometimes you just need to let the players play, because, I mean, that was hard playing right there. Pure D hustle.
Yeah, it was a case of whoever was standing last was going to get the ball.
And the score.
Fritz, second foul, fourth on the Cardinals in the second half. 39.9 to go. And Coach K is now having an animated talk with the referee.
Well, at least he's calmed down so he doesn't get hit with the T. He had one warning, so you figure his next time is going to be a tech.
Oh, yeah. He was very fired up after that call.
He's an emotional coach.
Oh, yeah. And it translates into his players, too. They play really hard and intense for him. So after the little melee where he came away with a personal foul on Fritz, Garfield has the ball. Final 26 seconds. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to be content, play a little four corners, get the final shot here in the third.
I feel that they need to go ahead and attack if they're trying to get themselves back into this game.
Looks like they want to run a little screen roll up top. Mike Davis has it. Now 10 seconds to go.
Bad move by the Bulldogs, in my opinion, Kyle.
And a strong move by Davis. Gets it on the rim. No, his follow up and in. Mike Davis with a great follow. Cuts it to 49-44 into three here from Mentor here on OhioSportsNet. We're going to be back with fourth quarter action after this.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is a voluntary, nonprofit association of more than 830 public and private high schools and approximately 850 7th and 8th grade schools.
Member schools vote on rules and regulations pertaining to eligibility, scholarship, and many other issues.
Sometimes we have to make tough decisions to enforce the rules, but that's just part of all the things the OHSAA does to make sure Ohio school sports are fair, safe, and fun for everyone.
I'm Coach K, everybody calls me that, Mentor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hey, this is Sonny Johnson from the Garfield Hts Bulldogs. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
We got a good one brewing here from Mentor here on OhioSportsNet. Kyle Goodwin along with double dipper Demetrius Hudson, color man, cameraman, along with Keith Allen on the other cam, and William Cummings, technical director. 49-44, Mentor leads, and packed house here at Mentor coming to life for this final 8 minutes of regulation, let's say.
That's right. This is where winners are winners and losers become losers. The last quarter of the game.
Simpson along with Wright, Jackson, Mike Davis, and Tony Farmer on the floor for the Bulldogs. In their Navy unis, a zip pass goes right through Mike Davis's hands. A lot of mustard on that one. Turnover over to the Cardinals.
That was a laser beam.
Mitch Trubisky, along with Danny Wallach, Brandon Fritz, Justin Fritz, and now Michael Gallagher, 6'3" junior, checks in for Mentor. Near steal in the backcourt. Trubisky gets it over to Justin Fritz, and he gets bumped by David Wright. And it's a touch foul, but it's going to be against Wright.
Definitely a touch foul. That was a little ticky-tack play. Now they want to start refereeing the game after they was letting the players play ball.
Fritz going to pull up from the corner, and another three, and Justin Fritz ran right into Kenny Simpson, and he's down on the floor. He took a shot to the nose, or maybe to the jaw. We got a whistle.
They got to stop play.
Yeah, they're going to have to stop play. Oh, boy, this looks like he just banged heads after that shot. He is severely shaken up on the play. That gives him 30 points in the game. That's about the only way the Bulldogs can take him out of the game, but he's not going anywhere. Just took a shot to the chops, and he's shaking it off.
Well, that was incidental contact nonetheless.
Yeah, it was. He buried that three, and it looked like both players were just trying to run back up court and just knock noggins.
Yeah, just took a little headbutt.
Shaking out the cobwebs. And now we see, here's what I want to see. He's a little, woozy. Well, let's see how he shoots now, Woozy. You'll probably still drain him. He'll shoot for the net in the middle and still hit it.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry, didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Great minds think alike. What must I say?
We'll go with that. Coach K's on the floor. He's talking about it. It looks like he's going to give Justin Fritz a break.
Yeah, need to let him take a breather for momentarily, make sure he's fine.
Morris back in for the Cardinals. As 12 points were scored in the third quarter for Mentor, 9 of them by Justin Fritz, so they're going to have to get him back on the floor. 8-point lead for Mentor. Mike Davis, a little up and under move, takes it strong, lays it up, and an offensive foul, the second one called against Mike Davis. He can't believe this one either. And Coach Johnson and the Bulldog faithful are, wow, not happy with that one, and that's a huge call. 7:23 to go. That's Davis's 4th.
Yeah, you got a feeling that they're feeling that it's 6 against 5 right now as far as the Bulldogs, the way the Bulldogs see it tonight. Might be a little home court advantage there.
That was a tough call. Again, he just took it strong.
That's why the referees have the toughest jobs.
Davis is going to have a seat with 12 points, but 4 fouls, averaging 17.5 on the year. 7:20 to go, fourth quarter, and Justin Fritz right back into the game for the Cardinals. Danny Wallach showing good ball possession, just dribbling around. It almost looks like a little amoeba defense a la UNLV from the 90s, and a steal by Simpson. Farmer, dribbling between the legs, gets it off. Jackson, left wing 3, in and out, no. Justin Fritz with the rebound for Mentor. A lot of contact. He's spinning around trying to keep it alive. Body's hitting the floor, and Brandon Fritz gets undercut. That's unfortunate as Bird and Tony Farmer showing great hustle, just unfortunately took the legs out. And Justin Fritz, again, slow to get up. He's might be seeing the trainers after this game, getting a little bit of ice to get some of these bumps and bruises taken care of. But what a game he's put in so far. 30 points with 6:45 to go in the fourth.
Well, that's 5 below my call for tonight, 35.
He's still got 6.5 to go. He might beat you.
Yeah. I was just being modest with the 35. I could see the kid actually scoring 40, but nonetheless, we just gonna let the ball play, let the game play on, rather.
8-point lead for Mentor. Fritz just dribbling up top, killing a little clock. Danny Wallach gets a screen from Brandon Fritz. Now he has Farmer on him. Wallach, jump pass. Justin Fritz. That's the first 3 I think he's missed all game. Back iron, no. Rebound pulled away by Thomas.
He may still need to shake out the cobwebs there.
Farmer, strong move. He got Brandon Fritz kind of on his hip and drew the contact, and Tony Farmer's going to go to the line.
He gets the foul. He draws the foul. They have really taken Farmer out of his game tonight.
That's the second foul on Brandon Fritz. 5th on Mentor. And we might be seeing some free throws coming down the stretch here. 5 fouls on Mentor, 6 on Garfield with 6:06 to go in the fourth. Tony Farmer strokes the first.
Yeah, that's going to be the deal breaker. Both teams are close to being in the penalty.
Now, if you think about it, Mentor on the year as a team shoots nearly 75%. So that's a good thing for the Cardinals. Farmer, a 78% free throw shooter on the year. He knocks down both, and now he has 10 points in the game, and it's back to a 6-point lead for Mentor. Garfield just hanging right there, around 5, 6, 7 points. Got a lot of time to get back. They pick up the pressure, D. Gets it up to Wallach. He pulls up his dribble and calls a timeout right in front of the Mentor bench with 5:59 to go. And Coach Johnson questioning something by the Zebras there. Well, Demetrius, okay, 6 minutes ago, you said Garfield's going to pull it out. What do they need to do here in the final 5:59 to overcome this 6-point deficit?
Like I said, they're going to have to go to their strength. They're going to have to really take it into the paint, cause Mentor to, commit a few more fouls, and they're going to have to make their shots from the charity stripe.
You think that's a big thing? Maybe draw some fouls, get into the bonus right away, because that's always the best way they say to get back in the game with the clock stopped, right?
Especially when both teams are fouling. I mean, it's obvious that the Bulldogs need to be more Bulldogish in the paint. and they're not. Maybe that's Coach Sonny telling the team to go hard in the paint.
Wallach inbounds to Morris. Poked away by Bird. Great hustle. Garfield wanted the ball, but it's going to stay with Mentor. As if you want to look at the players on the floor for Garfield, really Terrell Bird shooting 71% is the worst free throw shooter, so not bad for Coach Johnson if they do get to the line. But then you go on the other side, 75% is about the lowest you're going to find for a Mentor Cardinal. Great job. Justin Fritz finds Brandon Fritz, lays it up and in. He can do more than just score, Justin Fritz. Thomas pull up a little baseline jumper, no good. Justin Fritz looking to push.
And that's not the way to get back into the game.
Connor Krasancic, skip pass, knocked away by Garfield, out of bounds. Going to stay with Mentor with 5:32 to go and an 8-point Mentor lead.
Cannot be missing the easy layups.
Mike Davis with 4 fouls, looking like he's getting ready to check back into the game. He's been kind of slowed in the second half. He had 8 points in the second quarter, 12 points in the game, but last 2 times he's taken strong moves to the hole. The Zebras have lit him up with a charge on kind of bang-bang plays. Terrell Bird, good hustle there, knocks it out of bounds. Stay with Mentor.
Yeah, those are the challenges of being a player. You're going to have to be able to overpower those challenges and play your game.
Wallach throws into the backcourt. Brandon Fritz, bring it up, lay it off to Wallach. Justin Fritz, he's got the baseline, takes it strong, and Bird, no choice but to hack him from behind. He thought he got the ball, but the Zebra is going to light him up with a foul, and 2 free throws coming up for Justin Fritz.
Fouls on Garfield Hts number 2, Tony Farmer, his 4th, team 7.
And that's 17 fouls for Garfield.
Wow, that's strange. The PA announcer said Tony Farmer, but the scoreboard said Terrell Bird. Yeah, and
Bird is, pretty much confessing to the case, hey, I did this.
Yeah, that was on Bird. Tony Farmer was nowhere near the play. As that's going to be Bird's 3rd. Farmer also has 3 of those, so that would have been a huge call if they would have done that.
Well, they corrected the call.
They got plenty of time to do it.
Exactly.
Fritz now 31 points as he nails the first free throw. How about a 90% free throw shooter on the year, nearly automatic, Justin Fritz?
Yes, that's automatic, definitely.
46 of 51 coming in, and he strokes both there. Give him 32 in the game and back to a 10-point Mentor lead as Trubisky checks back in for the Cardinals. 5:22 to go. Again, full court trap picked up by Mentor, and Farmer will beat it himself. He's going to put his head down, crossover dribble, lay it up with the left hand and in. The home faithful wanted to travel, but Tony Farmer, strong move by the junior. And Bird, this might be a technical, and it is, as he smacked the ball out of Brandon Fritz's hands when he had it out of bounds. That's unfortunate for Terrell Bird.
Delay a game penalty right there. But going back to that last play, Farmer took it in strong.
12 points now in the game. And it's actually considered a personal foul as well as a technical, and that's the 4th foul on Bird.
That is not good.
And the 8th foul against the Bulldogs. So it's going to be free throws the rest of the way. And Brandon Fritz, or Justin Fritz, check that, will check to the line.
The Cards are definitely in the bonus now.
This is almost like Mark Price getting to the line.
That's who he reminded me. When you said 90% from the line, that reminded me of number 25.
Well, actually, Mark Price was about 95%.
He was like about 94.8, actually, somewhere around there.
I just saw a stat last night in the Cavs game against the Suns.
Exactly.
Steve Nash has got him by a couple percentage points all time, but nearly automatic, and Fritz nails both. Quickly, 7 points in the quarter, 34 in the game, back to a 10-point Mentor lead with 5 minutes to go.
And Wallach with the ball.
Wallach's passing in the corner, good steal. Simpson gonna look to push. Simpson lays it off, Mike Davis takes it strong, and he cannot buy a call. And Bird and Farmer both reach in, and wow, Mike Davis, these referees are definitely not gonna be on his Christmas card list. As he went in, a lot of contact, this time a no call. And the loose ball comes out, it's gonna be a foul, and they're gonna say the foul on Bird is gonna be his 5th foul. The referees are gonna talk about it. Was it on Bird or was it on Farmer?
Yeah, as you talk about the Christmas card list, they're definitely on this list, though.
Oh, they're on his blocked list. Yeah, he is not a fan of these officials as the calls. Anytime he's taken the ball to the hole, it has not gone his way. Good credit to the Cardinal defense, though. They put themselves in position to make the referees make a tough call.
I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, that's the one thing I noticed, the one thing that Mentor did come out here and play. They're playing great defense thus far, and it shows in the score.
So that foul is going to be against Bird, and he will foul out with 4:47 to go and 3 points for the senior guard.
The Cardinals have definitely shaken up the Bulldogs so far tonight.
We heard that from Coach Johnson at halftime. I asked him, what scares you about this? And he said how the referees would call the game is the one thing that worried him. And really, it hasn't gone the way of the Bulldogs.
No, it hasn't. I mean, the calls definitely weren't in their favor.
Wallach's free throw, no good on the 1-and-1. Farmer with the rebound. He'll bring it up himself. Kick it right side to Simpson. But still down 10 with 4.5 to go. The Bulldogs are right there in it.
I mean, they still have a chance to make some noise to win this game.
And Justin Fritz will pull away the rebound. Tony Farmer's got to be very careful. He's got 4 fouls. And the home faithful wanted number 5 there, and now he's going to get it. Oh, that's a tough call. That was just a little too aggressive by Tony Farmer. He's got to understand with 4 fouls, he can't play that strong. Well, actually, no, now that's 4. I'm sorry. So, okay, he did have 1 to give, but from now on, if he plays like that, he's going to be joining his teammate Terrell Bird on the bench.
Somebody has to play smart right now if the Bulldogs want to put this victory out. I mean, granted, yeah, the referees can make a difference in the game, but they're not the ones playing. You have to play smart basketball. It's like in any sport. You can't just blame the refs.
That was more than blanket coverage. That was kind of like an old grandma's Afghan. He was all over Justin Fritz on that.
That was.
Fritz wastes no time, drills both free throws, and 9 points every quarter for Justin Fritz. So now 36 in the game with 4:21 to go. You shortchanged him saying he's only going to score 35.
I should have just stuck with my first initial thought. I was going to roll with the 40, but.
Kyle Morris, you got to give him credit there. The hustle, a nice slide. He was safe into third base there. Couldn't come up with a loose ball, though. Mike Davis, strong to the hole. He's actually going to get a call this time. Mike Davis with a little grin. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. 4:08 to go fourth quarter. 60-48, Garfield trails.
That's the thing, they have to go strong. You got to play strong. That's their strength in the paint. Points in the paint.
Foul Michael Gallagher, his second, 6th on Mentor. Nothing but net. First free throw for Mike Davis. 76% free throw shooter on the year as a senior. Now 14 points in the game, just 3 below his average. Back to a 10-point game and a near steal. And Marquise Jackson got in the passing lane and he almost got it. Actually, he did get it. He got the turnover against Mentor. Connor Krasancic checks back in for Mentor. Good hustle by Marquise Jackson, the 5'11 senior. This is all Garfield needs. Get some stops, get some turnovers. Got to convert, though, on the offensive end.
They definitely have to convert, and shooting a 3
Jackson,
is not what
a tough
right
shot.
now.
Farmer on the offensive glass. Has it knocked away by Morris, and it's going to go off of Farmer and going to go back to Mentor. Kyle Morris, he's just been in the hip pocket of Tony Farmer everywhere he's gone tonight.
You definitely have to give him credit for playing great defense tonight.
Stay tuned, fans. End of the game, we'll give you our JJHuddle.com player of the game. And Mike Davis gets in there, pokes it away. Trubisky on the floor, keeps it alive for Mentor. I think we've got a very good nominee for our JJHuddle.com player of the game holding the ball right now for Mentor.
It's unanimous, hands down.
Unless something crazy happens in the final 3:29. Mentor doing a good job just playing keep away here, killing a little clock with a 10-point lead. Double team comes, Trubisky. Finds Danny Wallach up top. Looks like they're just trying to look to find an easy one. Kyle Morris, nice little dipsy-do, and under it goes. Morris with 5 in the game, and that was an impressive one. Skip pass, Simpson, 3-ball. Off the iron, no, and Farmer. Oh boy, this is a tough call, and Farmer's going to be out with his 5th foul. Kyle Morris got in there and he drew the contact on Tony Farmer. That's the second Bulldog to foul out with 3 minutes to go now. And some of the Bulldog faithful look like they're heading for the exits.
Well, men are definitely taking the Bulldogs out of their game tonight.
Almost look at it as this is a learning experience maybe for the junior. You know, he's got the talent, but he had faced a little adversity tonight. And really the whole Bulldog team faced a little adversity. The bounces didn't really go their way. Some of the calls didn't go their way, but you got to fight through that.
And it's just, appeared, that, the Cardinals just came out with that tough defense.
And how about the hustle? Really, you can't put a value on the hustle of Mentor.
Not at all.
Especially the player at the line right now, Kyle Morris. Morris misses both free throws, so a little bit of life for the Bulldogs. 2:58 to go. 62-50.
Down by 12.
Davis fakes the three, takes it in, lays it off, right, collect and lay it up and in. And a timeout with 2:46 to go. 62-52, Garfield trails. Down 10, still plenty of time for Garfield Heights.
It's not over till it's over. It's just a little more difficult now that both of their main two players are out of the game now due to fouls.
And if you think about it, in the game, Terrell Bird fouled out. Tony Farmer fouled out. Mike Davis has 4 fouls. Other than that, only 2 other players have fouls on the Garfield roster, and 1 each. So really just those 3 players. The ball, of course, goes through the 3 of them. They're the meat and the potatoes of their offense, but all the calls really have gone not in favor of Garfield of what they would probably say.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that they would have a lot to say. Like I said, it was basically 8 on 5.
That's the way they practice too.
They just weren't anticipating the referees to be that involved.
Those other 3 of the 8. They were considering to be like mentor players. That's how they practiced, Coach Johnson did. But still, you got to admit, things haven't gone their way. 2 of their starters fouled out. 1 of their starters has been in foul trouble, and they're only down 10 with 2:46 to go.
Like I said, they still have a chance. It's not over yet. A few smart plays, some good defensive plays.
Justin Fritz gets it up ahead. Krasancic beats the press but can't finish.
And there's the rebound.
Mike Davis did a good job to get back and just force a tough shot. Thomas clears the rebound, gets it up ahead. Jackson, corner 3, off the iron, no. Davis skies for the rebound, back up, knocked away by Fritz. Davis again, up and in, and 1. And Justin Fritz took another shot to the noggin. He's a little shaken up again, but Mike Davis, what hustle to keep it alive and cut it to 8 with 2:26 to go.
That's what I said. That's what they need to do. Both teams are in the penalty on fouls. Why not muscle it in? Somebody's going to either foul you or let you score.
The foul went against Mitch Trubisky. That's his 4th. 3-point play is good. 2:26 to go. Back to a 7-point deficit. Into the corner, and it's beat. Up ahead, Justin Fritz. Going to take it strong, lay it up and in. Smart play by Davis not to take his 5th foul, just gave up the easy deuce.
Prime example. Either you're going to allow them to score or you're going to draw the foul.
38 points now for Justin Fritz. Final 2 minutes, 9-point Mentor lead. Davis, tough fadeaway, no. Brandon Fritz with a rebound. Tough pick by Brandon Fritz, gets Justin Fritz free into the front court. Finds Brandon, kicks it back out, Wallach. Justin Fritz into the corner, Cole Krasancic. Connor Krasancic. Cole's playing at Ashland right now. Might be in the stands watching as we speak. And a good job by Mentor playing a little keep away, burning some clock, down to a minute and a half to go. They've already burned 30 seconds off. Coach Johnson calling out, saying they got a foul. They want a foul, but Mike Davis can't. He'll be fouled out. And finally, Justin Fritz just stood there and waited for either Thomas or Jackson to run out and foul with a minute 21 to go. That's Jackson's first and double bonus situation. But this is almost like a catch-22. You got to foul and stop the clock, but you got to get the ball out of this man's hands, Justin Fritz.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to have the ball in his hands. I mean, he's on the verge of putting up 40 points tonight. That's 39.
He is right there on the cusp.
He's been a beast tonight out on the court.
The big 4-0 for Justin Fritz. 40 of the 66 for Mentor. Now an 11-point lead with 1:18 to go.
Playing over-under, I went under on this one.
Marquise Jackson, straightaway line drive three, nails it. Timeout Garfield. 1:10 to go. The Bulldogs will not go away, only down 8.
Down by 8. It's still anyone's game.
Jackson's third 3 of the game, now 11 points. And well, if you're Mentor here, just get the ball to Justin Fritz. Is that what you got to do? And if you're Garfield, deny the ball. Is that basically what's being said in both huddles?
You have to say, figure Mentor want to play keep away. I mean, there's no need to give it to Fritz, but I mean, why not? He has the hot hand tonight. But if you're on Garfield's side, you're really looking at, hey, we need to just force them to foul us in the paint. They're going to play a Matador defense right now. It's only, the last 70 seconds of the game.
8 for 8 from the line in the game and in the fourth quarter, Justin Fritz. 40 points for the senior do-it-all guard for the Mentor Cardinals. And he's taking a couple shots at the chops. So he might not even be 100%. He's putting up 40 points. That's scary.
Definitely.
On top of the fact that he's one of the nicest, most polite kids I've ever met.
And he's a nice player. I mean, 40 points, what more can you say?
He's almost like a quiet fierce. You'll see players, they get animated and they talk and they'll scream and yell. He's like an assassin.
Yeah, he has no animation.
I think the video game Assassin's Creed might have had something to do with him. As Justin Fritz beats the press, gets it to Wallach, and we got a whistle and a foul with 1:02 to go. Kenny Simpson, I think he fouled Wallach. He'll get 2 free throws. This is where Mentor can ice it here at the line. Double bonus.
Yeah, they definitely have to make them if they want to win this, keep Garfield from creeping in any closer.
Wallach was a perfect 4 for 4 from the line coming into the game on the year, and he's missed both his free throw attempts here in the fourth quarter. I didn't jinx him before I said that. I didn't say he was 100%. He already missed one before I said it. He splits the pair here now. 8 points in the game for Wallach. Now a 9-point lead, final minute. Garfield's got to start doing some things quick, and a quick 3 by Jackson off the iron. No, battle for the rebound. One-handed rip by Brandon Fritz. Gets it to Wallach, and a whistle and a foul with 51 seconds to go by Garfield. Give the Bulldogs credit. They've done everything they can. They just couldn't get over that plateau. They fell behind in the second quarter. They just couldn't get it back inside 5 points.
Mentor definitely are protecting their house. That's the key to the home team. You must protect your house. And Mentor is doing a great job of that.
First free throw up and good by Wallach. Mentor, #1 in all the area newspapers, #1 in offense in the state of Ohio, 8th in the AP poll Division I. Wallach knocks down the pair, 4th in Max Preps Division I. Averaging 96 points a game. That's something that Garfield can lay their hat on. This team is averaging 96 points a game, and they've held them under 70 here in the final minute.
Well, that's the one plus. Definitely the one plus. Garfield is able to slow them down, and providing that the momentum stays the same as at the end of tonight's game, they have something to look forward to when they play him the next time around in February.
And also, Garfield in the AP poll, they're 9th. They were #1 in the final AP poll last year. So that's something they had to hang their hat on. They lost 2 Division I players. Mike McQueen, football player, went to OU. Trigger Trey Lewis went to Penn State, playing now in the Big Ten for the Nittany Lions. Seen him a couple times on the Big Ten Network, representing Northeast Ohio, Trey Lewis. Upcoming games, Brunswick, at Benedictine, at Brush, and Mayfield coming up for the Mentor Cardinals. Garfield Heights have John Marshall coming up along with, I already played John Marshall. They got Northland, Elyria, Twinsburg, and St. Edward coming up. So final minute, 11-point deficit. Davis, little crossover, takes it strong with the left hand, lays it up and in. Davis now 18 points in the game, right at his average. Inbound comes into Fritz, whistle and a foul with 36.4 to go. Garfield been right there all game, just can't get some stops, can't get some steals here in the final minute.
Just too little, too late.
That foul went against Marquise Jackson, his second. Double bonus for Fritz. That's the friendly shooter's roll. Front ironed it, but they always say put some spin on it. You catch the front of the rim, you'll get the friendly roll.
Works every time.
He made sure the next one, you didn't have to worry about the rim. Nothing but net. 10 for 10 from the line in the fourth quarter, Justin Fritz. 42 points for the senior.
A marksman on the court tonight.
Final 35 seconds, an 11-point Mentor lead. Davis kicks it out. Jackson, three ball, off the iron, no. Wright tries to keep it alive, and he does to Simpson. He'll spin back out, gives it back to Jackson, right corner three. Got it. Marquise Jackson trying to keep Garfield in this game, 17.5 to go. He hits his fourth three of the game. Now 14 points for Marquise Jackson, the 5'11 senior. 17 and a half seconds to go, now 8-point deficit. That's one thing maybe Coach Johnson and the Bulldogs can build on. They were there the whole way. They did not give up, fought right down to the bitter end.
No, they didn't give up, and that's one thing I had to, commend the Bulldogs for. They did not give up the fight. I mean, they could have easily gave up, but they played hard like they're supposed to. Like I said, this is something for them to look forward to now. They work, learn from this game and take it to the next game. And I'm sure that they'll be ready to sink their teeth into the Cardinals next turnaround.
$17.5 to go, 71-63, Mentor leads. Wallach looking inbound, fires one. Justin Fritz has got it behind everybody. He's actually going to take it strong to the hole and lay it in. Simpson didn't get the foul, and Fritz now with 44, back to a 10-point deficit, final 10 seconds. Davis, line up a straightaway three. Front iron, no. Wallach with the rebound, and Garfield's not going to foul. Final seconds tip away, and the home faithful is very happy here as the Mentor Cardinals are going to come out with a 73-63 win here tonight. Justin Fritz did it all with 44 points. We're going to come back with some final thoughts here from Mentor on OhioSportsNet after this.
I hit people and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brexville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
I'm Brandon Fritz, sophomore center for Mentor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, this is Tony Farmer from Garfield Hts Boys Basketball. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
I'm Coach K, everybody calls me that, Mentor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hey, this is Sonny Johnson from the Garfield Hts Bulldogs. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
Final score again, 73-63. The Mentor Cardinals pull it out. They had a 1-point lead after one quarter play, 16-15. 9 points in the first three quarters, every quarter by Justin Fritz. Got them out to a 7-point halftime lead. 5 points they led after three quarters, and it looked like Garfield had a little bit of momentum, Demetrius, going into that fourth quarter, only trailing by 5. But Justin Fritz got in the double bonus. 10 for 10 from the line in the fourth quarter. How about 44 points for the senior?
Monster game. Monster game. He doubled his jersey, number 22 point. Number 22 doubled it to 44 points on the floor tonight. The Cardinals just did not let up on the defense and did not allow the Bulldogs to rely on their strengths, and that's their points in the paint.
Go through some of the final scoring for Garfield Heights. Terrell Bird fouled out with 3 points. Tony Farmer fouled out with 12 points. Kenny Simpson 7, all in the first quarter. Mike Davis, 18 points for the senior. Marquise Jackson hit 4 threes, 14 points off Sonny Johnson's bench, and 4 points for David Wright for 63 for the Bulldogs. For the Mentor Cardinals, Brandon Fritz had 5, 3 for Connor Krasancic. Mitch Trubisky added 4, 10 points for Danny Wallach, 5 points for Kyle Morris, 2 for Michael Gallagher, and 44 points for Justin Fritz. For our JJHuddle.com player of the game, is there any doubt, Demetrius?
I'm going to let you go ahead and have this one, Kyle.
We'll go with Justin Fritz. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Justin Fritz is our JJHuddle.com player of the game.
By a landslide.
You want to talk sports? You want to discuss tonight's game? You want to talk about the upcoming season, playoffs, stats, recruiting?
Yes.
We'll do it all at JJHuddle.com. Go there for recruiting updates, scores, statistics, and everything you want to talk about in Ohio high school sports. For 99 cents a month, you can join JJHuddle.com and get into the game. Our JJHuddle.com player of the game, again, senior guard Justin Fritz.
And you must not forget about the JJ Huddle forums.
Oh, exactly. How could I forget about that? The world-famous JJ forums. That's the place to go. So go to JJHuddle.com and get into the game. 44 points for Justin Fritz. He is our JJHuddle.com player of the game. Demetrius, final thoughts here tonight. Garfield falls to 8-2, 3-1 in the NOC. Now, a game behind Mentor, who improves to 9-1, 4-0 in the NOC. If you're Garfield Heights, what can you take out of this game?
You have to take advantage of when teams are in the penalty. They didn't take advantage of that because, I mean, granted, had I coached the game, I would have told my players to go in, make them foul you, get your points from the line. They didn't do that, in the first half, and I figured that they would probably take advantage of it in the second half, which they were in the same situation, but didn't take advantage of that. I don't know if it was Mentor, the Cardinals, momentum swing that just took them out their game, took them out their whole hookup, or whatever the case may have been. But that's the thing right there. So I would say looking forward, take advantage, which they did not do.
How about going the other side from Mentor, Coach K and the Cardinals? What can they take out of this game?
What they can take out of the game is maybe fall back on there's really not much you can't really say about them doing anything different in their style of play, because it didn't hurt them in this game, but it might can hurt them in another game. So they cut back on the tenacity just tad bit.
Cut back on the tenacity.
Their defense is not bad, man. I mean, but they committed a lot of fouls.
They did. Well, there's a lot of hustle plays. That's what I wanted to point out. 2 other players too, along with Justin Fritz, Kyle Morris, along with Caleb Potter. Potter did it a lot in the first half, but these guys they're all over the floor. I mean, if you want to look, we might see a number 45 and 25 somewhere embedded on the floor somewhere, where these guys are sliding all around for loose balls. Kyle Morris completely almost took Tony Farmer out of this game. Yes, he marked one of the top players, not in the state of Ohio, but in the nation.
I mean, apparently that's what they do. I mean, because like I said, this is my first time, actually, watching Mentor play basketball, and they're a good team. Garfield, they're a good team. I can see that. I can see this being a good rivalry for years to come. And like I said, this would just be something for Garfield to take in, from tonight's game, and something to look forward to against their next foes, and of course against when they play Mentor once again.
Exactly, and stay tuned for that game. We'll have it here on OhioSportsNet in late February. And go to OhioSportsNet.tv, check out our schedule, our video archives library. See a lot of videos, past, previous games, and you can catch this game again on the replay anytime you like between Mentor and Garfield Heights. Final score again, 73-63. Mentor wins it. For technical director William Cummings, cameraman Keith Allen, and cameraman, colorman, do-it-all Demetrius Hudson. I'm Kyle Goodwin. Final score again tonight, Mentor 73, Garfield 63. Have a good night from Ohio Sports Net.